All right, welcome back, YouTube. This is the next video in my series about building a computer out of transistors. This is a pretty exciting one. Last video I had 1 bit of memory. Now I have 1 byte of memory. My goal is to build another byte of memory. It's a huge amount of work, stripping all these little wires, getting them the exact length and everything. But so far I got a 1 byte, and I also built two binary decoders. I built two binary decoders so that I can access each bit of that byte. And so check it out.
Okay, nothing's catching on fire at the moment. Okay, so I had an LED in right here, and when I powered it up, I didn't have the camera on, but it like basically caught on fire. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm looking all through the circuit, looking for what I might have had wired wrong. Everything looked good. So I took it apart, I pulled these two transistors out, and I measured across that LED, and I had 5 volts on both sides. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So I put this wire in here, took the transistors, LED, everything out, and this wire has 5 volts on it with nothing plugged into it. If you can see this row right here, nothing plugged into this row, yet it has 5 volts on it. So I got the meter, 0 ohms from the power to here. It's shorted. This row is shorted. So I figured I'll bring you guys along for the ride. Let's check it out and see. I'm gonna try not to take all this apart. I'm gonna try to just flip this over and take the back off and see if I can fix it. Okay, my short is right here. It's the third wire in. I don't know if you can see. It's the third row from the edge of this one. Let's see what we got here. Pick this, really just like a big piece of double-sided tape. Can't see. What's that? What do I see there? Well, that's interesting. Look at that. I'm glad it's kind of close to the edge. Oh, can you see that? There's a piece of metal sticking out right there, and it's touching the third row. When this got pushed in there, that got bent out instead of going in. So I could potentially just cut that off. So this first pin here on the positive rail might not work. Yeah, that looks like the piece of metal there for the tab, like for the first positive hole there, it got bent. So I either need to bend it out of the way so it's no longer touching there. The only other option would be to peel this tape back all the way down and remove it, straighten it out, and then put it back on. But I think I'm just going to bend it up, at least for now. I'm going to bend it up so it's not shorted to anything to get my circuit working. But I was warned about these cheap breadboards, but I bought them anyhow. I don't know. They're just so cheap. But you can tell the difference whenever you're working with them. You can tell that, the pins don't push in them as nice as... I have some good ones from years ago, and you could just tell the difference. think that'll work. All right, that just gets it kind of bent. I don't want it to short to the ground because that'll cause problems. But I think if I just kind of bend it up, that way if I ever did take this apart, I could still fix it, you know, instead of cutting it off. I think that'll work. It's not shorted to anything. And I'll get my circuit working. Yeah, pretty crazy though, huh? All right, I thought I'd show you guys that, you know. That's actually the second issue I've had with one of these breadboards. This one over here. The positive rail is disconnected right here. I had to put this jumper across. So anyhow, okay. So you got a little preview to what I got coming here though. Look at that. All right, hang on a second. Okay, I think I showed this last time. You know, this is, you know, what I'm building here. I'm trying to build this matrix 4 by 4, which will give me 16, which is 2 bytes of memory, but it's a lot of work. So here's what I got so far. Check it out. Pretty crazy, huh? Look at all that. So you can see I have 2 bytes, 2 bits per breadboard. 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. These are my 2 binary decoders. This is my switch for the binary decoders, so I can type in a binary number and it will access one of these 8 bits. And then these are my write and read. And then this is my data. So I showed on my last video how you'd write and read. And so look, I also created like a bus. This is not really a data bus, but this is kind of my data, but this is my address bus. That's what it is, address bus. So when I put my address in, it comes out here, and each one of these accesses the address bus according to which binary number they are. These ones are the first row, first column. These ones are the first row, these two. This would be the second 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, and 0, 3. So this one would be 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 3. Okay, that took a second for my brain to register. Okay, so anyhow, those are my 8 bits, my 1 byte of memory. Let's turn some juice on and see what we got. So I do need to, at some point I'll clean, if I make the other 8 bits over here, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, because right now, actually, I think I got one of these wires backwards anyhow. So instead of a binary 1, it's the binary 2 that gets the second one instead of binary 1. But anyhow, these LEDs show the outputs, but once this circuit here, once one of these bits accesses it, these LEDs don't work anymore. But these ones show me. So right now, my 1 byte of memory would be, let's see, I don't even know. It's not really in a register right now. Each one has a location. That's the other thing I need to figure out. Do I want to put it in a register? I think I want to create another one of these that's a register, like in a register format, so that I can read these and store them in a register. I think that's like the next step, because then once I store it in a register, then I can do something with it, right? I can perform math with it with my, calculator that I have over there. If I have 2 of these, that's the ultimate goal, is to build 2 of these, and then I can read this byte, read that byte into registers, and then perform math on them with the calculator, and then write the result to an output somewhere. So, that sounds like a pretty good path to go here. If anybody has any ideas, just let me know in the comments. But anyhow, so let's try to access some bits of memory. So we're going to start at 0. This is my address. We're going to address 0, all zeros.
which is this bit right here. So right now, the read and write are turned off. So this is going to have no effect on this one bit. And this is my data. It's at 0 right now. So if I turn the write on, actually, I'll read this 1 right now, which I have nowhere to read it to. I took that LED out. You can see when I read it, and when I let go, it's still there. I had a read on the last one, but now I filled this breadboard with this, with a decoder. So eventually, like I said, I'll have a whole breadboard for an output that'll show the output. Well, we're getting there. So I'm going to write, I have a 0 on my data here, on my data line. So I'm going to write a 0. See that? I wrote a 0. Now I'm going to turn off the write. Now I can set my data to 1, and I'm going to write a 1. See that? I wrote a 1. And so I can do this with every bit. So I'm going to go to 0, 0, 1. 0, 1 would be this one, I think. And it's currently at 0, right? There's nothing. Its data is set to 0 at the moment. Let's write we've got a 1 in our data, so let's write a 1. And there you have it. See, I wrote a 1. So let's go down a row. Change our data back to 0. And let's go 1, 1, which should be this one right here. Or no, this one right here, the second one down. 1, 1. And so let's write a 0 into that. See that? I wrote a 0. We change the data back to 1. I'll write a 1. There you go. I wrote a 1. I'll leave the write turned on so I can go off, on. Okay, so this one's working. So that's address 3, 1. Which makes sense. 3, 1, right? Yeah. Because it's 1, 2, 3. Actually, it should be, oh yeah, 1, 0, 1, 3, 1. 3, 0 should be this one. So that means I should be able to go back to 0 on here. And look, yeah, it just lit up. I can change my data to 0, 1, 0. Okay, so see that? They are all addressable. With their address, I need to maybe make a little table or something so that I can keep track of what binary number accesses which bit. But so from here, yeah, so I had, where did it go? This one here. You know, that was my my binary decoder that I had before. I left it there because that could be useful for another part of the computer at some point. So I just made 2 new ones because I needed to make 2 anyhow. So anyhow, that is my 1 byte of memory. So stay tuned. I don't know if I'm going to make the next 8 bits next, or do I want to go somewhere else with this first and then add the next 8 bits? Or I'm going to have to think about where I want to go from here to see maybe how my calculator is going to tie into this, how this whole thing works. So stay tuned, though. It's going to get pretty cool. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I only need 15 more subscribers to break that 1,000 subscribers for YouTube. It's pretty awesome. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. That's amazing. I really appreciate it. And everyone have a great day. See you next time.